are passionate about social justice, teaching for a change, making transformations in the lives of communities and student outcomes, then Richmond Teacher Residency, or RTR, is where you need to be. RTR is a highly selective graduate teacher residency program that recruits, trains, and supports teachers for high needs and hard to staff schools. RTR residents learn alongside top district teachers for an entire year while earning a graduate degree from Virginia Commonwealth University. These new teachers make a difference. I'm here with Kim McKnight, Director, RTR Petersburg and RTR Chesterfield at VCU, to share information about this amazing teacher program. Welcome, Kim.
Thanks so much for having me.
So tell me about RTR.
Yes, so RTR started in City of Richmond schools 10 years ago. And we have now been in Chesterfield County Public Schools for 3 years. And imagine having a first year of teaching before your real first year and have an opportunity to be with a strong mentor, a current Chesterfield teacher for a full year while you're earning a graduate degree. That's what RTR is.
That sounds pretty cool. So what are the different program tracks? Is it for all, if any kind of teacher, or are there specific areas?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually have 3 different tracks that you can go into. One is our secondary track, so that would be for middle school and high school teachers. We have special education, which would be from K all the way up to 12th grade. And then we also have elementary, which focuses on our K-5 classrooms.
So if I'm about to finish up a 4-year degree, or I already have a 4-year degree, how do I get started in this process?
Yeah, so if you have a college degree, that's kind of step 1. And then you have to have a 3.0 in the last 60 hours of your degree. And then if you want to go into content, for instance, for secondary, you would need to have a degree in that content area. And then the last thing is the testing requirements. And each of the different tracks have different requirements.
So can I find out more about that on the website?
Absolutely. If you go to teachrtr.org, you will find all of the information, including the tests and every requirement.
So that sounds really exciting, but I think really the benefit is hearing from a current student. So let's hear right now from a current RTR student.
Well, I did my undergrad in political science, and I attempted to work in politics after I graduated, and I decided that I didn't like it, and it wasn't for me. But I see my mom, and she's a career teacher. She's put in 20 years with Chesterfield County, and I really loved what she was doing for students. So I wanted to do the same thing, but with a population that's traditionally underserved. My favorite part so far about RTR is having so many other former residents and coaches in the building, so whenever I need something, I can go to one person and be like, hey, this is a lesson I'm thinking about. How do you think this will work with this group of kids, or can you give me any guidance? So it's just really nice to have that community here.
That certainly sounds amazing. Thanks for sharing that with us. So Kim, what are the advantages to pursuing a career in education through this residency program?
So first, we pay for your graduate degree, and that's a big bonus in this. In addition, we give a $5,000 stipend on top of it. And then you get an opportunity for a full year to learn from a mentor. And since we've been at Ettrick Elementary, we have seen teachers that have been with a strong mentor, that one of the teachers ended up looping, which means going from 3rd grade up to 4th grade with that same group of students. And so they already had built those relationships, as well as having the opportunity to already know the school. And so we give you the chance to grow and reflect in your practice before you have your own classroom.
That would not be what my first year of teaching was like. I don't think anyone else would say the same either.
I agree with you.
So what a great program. How do you choose the schools where RTR is?
Yeah, so we look for hard to staff schools, and that can be for many different ways. Sometimes it's distance, if it's a school that isn't central to in Chesterfield, or we have schools that have high turnover, or if it's Title I schools. It's all different reasons for why we pick the schools, but for us, we're trying to build a pipeline because we want teachers that after your residency year, you are committing to that school for 3 additional years. And we provide every resident with a career coach. Now, this is someone from outside of the school and school division coming every single week to support you in your first 2 years when you have your own classroom.
That makes me kind of want to have a do-over for when I went through
You
school.
and me both.
So I'm assuming it's a successful program. Can you speak to the success rates?
Sure. So we have 100% placement rate for our residents. And when we think about how we train teachers, you're doing this program in 3 semesters, a summer, a fall, and a spring. But during that fall and spring, the residents are with that strong mentor from the first day of teacher work week until the last day of school. So we have this opportunity for them to learn how to set up a classroom, to build those relationships that often when a student teacher comes in the spring, you miss the magic that I consider what happens in that first beginning 6 weeks of school. And you're gonna get to learn alongside a strong mentor who goes through a rigorous application process, the same way the residents go through a rigorous application process to be the best for the students in Chesterfield.
So your people stay, they complete the program and they stay with teaching?
They do, and we have actually, after 5 years, almost 80% of our graduates are still in the classroom.
That is above the national average.
Yes, it is, and we
Significantly.
are only in hard to staff schools. So it really speaks to what we do is we're really trying to train people to stay in the classroom for the long term.
Fantastic. So let's just take a moment to hear from someone that's actually been through the program.
I chose RTR because I wanted to spend my first year in the classroom with another teacher that has experience, and I wanted to turn that experience into a partnership of learning and growth. And I wanted to go in my first year solo teaching with that experience and being able to focus on other things instead of like the logistics and the little details that you learn and that take up more time. Yeah, my relationship with my mentor was amazing. We both grew a lot in that year. It was her first time being a coach as well, and so it felt really nice to be with someone so experienced, but also that was learning and growing with me. And just being in the classroom with another teacher was amazing. I not only learned from her, but I learned with her. And I still ask her questions, and I still use a lot of the things that she taught me right now. So
I guess, you know, it was such a growth experience. Honestly, I can't imagine teaching without the experience now being in my second year and having all these tools in my tool belt, and I can't imagine not learning from my mentor and being able to still talk to her and communicate with her and take on what I have learned and apply it to where I'm at now. So my mentor, we talk all the time, we communicate, whether it's via school and with our kiddos, and if I have questions still, even from the learning from the past and now applying it till now, we can reflect together, and it's just a safe zone. So I'm constantly growing with her and learning from now and applying it to the future. My favorite part of the experience is I feel like I'm not just a better person, a better teacher, but I'm following on the path to become a right woman. And so it's been such an awesome experience. I get to grow with the kiddos. Not only are they learning every day, I'm learning every day. So that's honestly the growth. I'm a big person on that, is my favorite.
Thanks for sharing. What a great opportunity. And we're talking about this opportunity of RTR, Kim. What is your favorite thing about your job?
Gosh, there are so many, but I would say that our program gives the opportunity to bridge the gap between research and practice. And when I was still a classroom teacher in Chesterfield, I often did not have the most up-to-date research because I was in the classroom trying to do the practices day in and day out. And this program gives the opportunity to reflect and grow by taking research and applying it day to day, so that you're not just reading about it in a textbook, you're using students in your classroom to help your practice grow. And because you're in the school 4 days a week and taking classes 1 full day and 1 to 2 nights a week, you have plenty of opportunities with your cohort. And that's also one of the strengths of this program, is that you're learning alongside others who are becoming teachers in hard to staff schools. And so you're going to build off of their experiences too, and giving every opportunity for our residents to grow in their practice.
I love this approach to hiring and recruiting teachers. I think it's such a great way to support them in their early years and to build a strong staff. Thanks so much for your work around this, and thanks for coming today and sharing with us on Engage Chesterfield.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that everybody applies for RTR Chesterfield.
Me too. I have a short list of people I want to share this with, certainly. And thank you for joining us today on Engage Chesterfield.